Gets absolutely no traction in the wet. I don't have X drive, so maybe we can swing around just a tad, just a bit. Oh my god, I love this fucking car, dude. I don't have a limited slip or anything. The only thing I have done is the M Performance exhaust, downpipe, XHP stage 3, and then a Pure 800 turbo. Oh, and the intake. But this thing is so much fun. Like, everyone that buys this car, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna want the X drive. They're gonna want to make it a straight line build. And I say just throw a little bit of power on it, keep it on 93, do a TU pump, right? Like, don't even go all out. And this car will be so fun as a daily. You can still drive it in rain. I'm doing 60 something in Mexico. This car has a flame tune too. Like, you could push this car so hard, just beat on it, keep up with the maintenance, do the maintenance on time or before they're due, with quality things from a quality reputable shop, and this car will treat you so nice. I've had such a good experience driving this car for like a year and a half, and I love it so much. I bought it at 30,000 miles. I'm at 66 now. Not a single fucking problem. Starts up every single day. No reliability issues. I still have stock PCV, and I heard that that's not the best thing in the world, so I might do the delete for that, the Ross Racing Kit. But other than that, I haven't heard of too many like reliability concerns with this car. Intake manifold cracking under high boost is one, but that's like a higher mileage type of thing, so I'll probably wait on that. Probably get some better temps out of it too. The traction control is actually stellar in this car, dude. Like, you rip on it, like just there you saw, like, even though it's full traction off, like the car still does not let you lose control. Like, as long as you're not purposefully like flying into something, this car will not let you make a mistake. It is so perfect the way the traction control engages in this car. I love it so much, and I drive it in Sport Plus basically everywhere. Driving like a jackass with a big turbo setup and a flame tune, I get 21.1 miles per gallon. Like, I don't know what other car you're gonna get that from. Car sounds really good. I'll do a dry weather day so you can really hear the exhaust. But this car is actually phenomenal. I love it. Drives super comfortable in comfort mode whenever you want it to. On the highway, I've gotten close to 30 on this exact setup, which is crazy to think, and that's like me banging it under every single overpass that I get. Like, this car is the epitome of what shows you that BMW is more performance oriented than Mercedes. Like, if I hopped into a C or any Mercedes that's not quite an AMG, I would not get this much driver enjoyment out of just beating the hell out of the car, and I honestly would go as far to say I wouldn't get as much reliability. Like, this car is not an M car, right? There's no S motor there, right? There's no limited slip diff. The handling is it's all right. I mean, like, it's not the perfect thing in the world, it's not the worst thing in the world, but the driver enjoyment you get from driving this car is quite unmatched for this price point. I snagged this car at like 37 grand at the time. Wasn't the worst price ever, wasn't the best price ever, but it was 30,000. Oh, state trooper. It was at 30,000 miles. It had a 2-year warranty left on it. This is a 2018, so 37 was not bad at all. And the market seems to have gone down quite a bit. You could probably snag one high 20s, mid 20s, around 30,000-40,000 miles. M Sport is a must. This car looks god awful ugly without M Sport, and the M Sport steering wheel looks so much better. As you can see, I got very base options. I have heated seats, and that's about it. I don't really care about options too much. I mean, I was never the type of person to be like, oh, I need heads up display or I need something or the other. Like, I'm really happy just driving this car for what it is and not for having technology. That being said, a lot of my friends do have a heads up display and like technology option cars, and I envy them every single time I get to drive them. So if you have a little bit of extra money, you might as well. It'll help resale value, if anything. Modding this car is cheap. Maintaining this car is cheap. You can do everything through FCP Euro. Everything is easy to do, and you could basically do all of the reliability stuff for free, all the maintenance. Even the reliability downsides, it's the PCV delete, which is literally like, I think it was like 200 bucks. Like, that's not bad at all. Like, I'm sure crank hub owners or S55 owners are crying that they have to do a crank hub. Like, whenever you're looking at the prices of F80 M3s versus F30 340s, you really got to think, like, if you really want the F80 to daily drive, I would rather get the F30, which I did, the 340, add some power to it, so you still have that relaxing daily driver where it's not going to be too harsh on you. You'll never get annoyed that you hit a bump and it's too harsh, right? But still get that little bit of power that you were hoping for with the M car. Now, that being said, I am not by any means saying this is better than an F80 M3. I'm just saying, as a daily driver, this puts up a good fight against the F80 because it is more comfortable, and it also has, the power is there. The driving experience is very different between the two cars, do not get me wrong. The F80 has a limited slip diff, has a completely different like chassis and suspension setup, but as a daily driver, just looking at power figures and comfortability, I think I would still take this over an F80 if I were to do it all again. I have a pure 800 turbo on this car. I beat the hell out of it. It doesn't skip a beat. I haven't had to do any reliability mods. I'm on stock PCV, I'm on everything. I just did oil changes and fucking spark plugs. That's literally it. So I don't know what else you would want from this car. Limited slip diff is something that I want from this car, and that's about it. I do like, you know, like swinging, getting sideways a little bit, and it's more of a exhilarating experience when you have a limited slip diff. And I was thinking of getting the M2 over this. The numbers just didn't work out, but I'm kind of happy that it didn't, because the way this car drives on a daily basis, like, you don't have to put any effort into driving it in comfort mode, and it can be very engaging in the Sport Plus and the full traction off modes. And that being said, for price, I'm sure you can find something faster, like, I don't know, like an LS3 of some sort, and just mod it to the crap. But this car has retained its stock driving characteristics, which is something that I was really looking for when I was looking for the perfect daily driver, and I feel like I found that. There's no other vehicles on the market that are a four-door of this stature that if you don't know what you're looking at, you're just gonna be like, oh, that's just some base 3 Series, right? Like, that's no M car, there's no fender flares, there's no super aggressive aero, anything. Like, this car looks like Bob took it to his accounting office and just fucking worked a 9 to 5 and is coming home. This car doesn't scream at you saying like, look at me, I'm the fastest car around. But whenever you start putting some money into mods, it's very easily obtainable. It's very easy to obtain the power figures that you were dreaming for. Like, with a turbo on 93, this thing pushes 500 to the wheel. I don't really care about any more. Like, I don't want more power, I don't care for more power. I just wanted a fun car to commute with and to like keep up with some of the things that I would buy over this if I had the money. That being said, I'm sure a lot of people would still pick the F80 if you're willing to do that harsh ride every single day. That's completely fine, that's up to you. And a TU version of this car, if you have the money, is better because you get the limited slip diff. You also get a couple other odds and ends, like the 23 M340. I had an opportunity to ride in one, and it just felt faster. It just felt more like planted, more stable. It just felt better. If I were to do it again, I would get X-Drive, because there are some times where I feel a little sketch driving this rear-wheel drive car in the rain or like in the snow. I had some fun with this car in the snow, but I'm not sure that I'm going to for always want to drive it in the snow, if that makes any sense. And sometimes in the rain, like, you see a cool car next to you Like today, an M8 pulled up next to me and it has X drive. It did a really nice pull next to me and I couldn't catch for shit, so I was just spinning through like 4th, 5th, and it just kept spinning. It was like kind of sketch. So if I would do it all over again, I might get a more technologically optioned car, and I might get X drive. But if I could, I would just do limited slip diff today and keep the rear wheel drive, just so I can have that little more fun with it. And even then, I don't think you need a daily if you have this car. Even at the point of fully, like a full-on full-frame turbo kit and like flex fuel, you could still daily this car. You could go on a conservative map on 93 octane for your daily driving uses, and then you could go to an E-Mix or full E85 on whenever you want to really romp on the car. Like, this car does not lose its daily driving characteristics. Now, if you get a conservative enough map on 93 or 91, whatever's available in your area, like I said, you can take this thing to work. You can take it to Walmart, fill it up, come home. No one would even know that it's a whatever horsepower figure or however fast 60 to 130 car. And it really like surprises people too. I lined it up with an RS6 Savant the other day. It was like a week ago, and kept right up there next to him on 93. And he was like, wow, I was not expecting that from your car. This car looks like just a 3 Series. You see a 3 Series every single day, especially if you get it in like a normal color. I have sunset orange, so it's not the most normal color ever, but still, people don't expect it. Like, if I pull up and someone does not know what a B58 is, they don't really know what a 340 is, it's like, oh, it's not an M car, it doesn't matter. You can really like surprise some people. You can have a lot of fun with this car, and even if you were going for a cosmetic build, this car is still perfect with the M Sport. Some people like Justin BUY, I believe is how you say his last name. He has a white F30. He bought a non-M Sport, did the M Sport conversion, and he has a really clean setup. It's like the most OEM plus, like it's ARC8s that are forged. It's low to the ground, and I think he has some like small stuff like M Performance spoiler. He has the B58 plate, which I also have the B58 plate. Took a lot of inspiration from his build. I have ARC8s on this one too. He has a really clean cosmetic build that was like, you could really do both with this car, and with the extra seats and the extra trunk space, like you can drive it every day. It's practical, it gets good gas mileage, and it's just such a fun car. Like, take a listen to this. Like, it's raining, so you might get a lot of wind noise, but just like I said, I don't do that on a daily basis, all right? I don't just floor it in the rain randomly, but that shows you how good the traction management system is, where it will not let you make a mistake. Like, you could be trying to make a mistake and it wouldn't let you. Like, I don't know any other cars that I wouldn't have ended up somewhere in a ditch or somewhere in the grass if I did that. Like, this car is insane. It should really be at the top of your list when looking in this price point for a daily driver, for your only vehicle in your garage, where you could do some cosmetic stuff too, make it a little fast. It's reliable, gets great gas mileage. It isn't the most expensive thing in the world, and it sounds phenomenal. I think that this is probably the best contender from the BMW lineup if you're looking around $30,000 or less and you just want a fun car. It gives you everything, and like, I'm sure you could get like a 328 for cheaper, but you'll also run into reliability problems. I'm not sure what motor it has. I think it's the N20. Terrible with the timing chains and stuff like that. Like, the package you get with this, you just can't get anywhere else. And that's gonna be it for this video, but I will be posting tomorrow or another day. I'll post up sometime this week a video in the dry where I could really show you what this exhaust sounds like. It's the M Performance titanium setup, the catback, with a CTS turbo catless downpipe, and I'm sure you guys would enjoy that a little bit. I'll rig the GoPro probably behind the car so you can hear it a little well. But But yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and be sure to follow the build on Instagram. My Instagram is TV340i. Thanks. Peace.